All right, everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video, Fat Phil, and we need to talk about these packs, but not how good they are. There's a link down below to the video I posted earlier today that you guys can see what I think about the packs. This video is going to be, so you bought them, what do you do now? What's the Zeta order for these characters? What, like not just for Resistance, but for First Order and Resistance Zeta order, and then how does this impact your farming later on down the road? We're going to cover all of that in this video, so please stay tuned for that. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Let me know your thoughts down below, and please subscribe to this channel. I want to hit 10,000. It's just a number. And I want to give a huge shout out to the channel members. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. If you're interested in joining, there's a link down below. Thank you guys again. You all are awesome, gentlemen, ladies, and scholars alike. So let's get into the video. Let's look at these packs. Again, whole video covering the packs and what I think about them. But you can get this one to get the entire First Order faction at Relic 5. There's the one here just to get Jedi Training Rey. There's one for like what they call the GL Rey, right? For all of these characters for $10. I will be streaming tonight, and during the live stream, I will be purchasing this pack and hopefully starting my Rey journey for the Galactic Legend. So I'm excited for that, guys. Hopefully you're along to join. And then we've also got this Raddus Lightspeed bundle for the players who would need to get the Raddus ship because you need it at 5-star to start the Rey journey. You could get this one, which gives you these characters at Relic 5, plus the ships. And I want to point out here, Boss get Relic 5. This is insane value for 20 bucks, just saying. But anyway, so you bought these packs. What's your Zeta order? How do you, what do we do? Let's get into the game. So, first, you need to get to 120. You need 6 total Zetas for a Galactic Legend. Every GL needs 6 Zetas. That's 20 Zeta mats per piece. That's how you get to 120. That's your first goal with this. Because of the way that these packs are designed, you're not going to be getting you're not getting any extra Zetas, and you're doing it in a very compressed point in time. So if you don't have a lot of Zetas saved up, you need to get to 120 first. You want to get to the point where your Galactic Legend is going to have all their Zetas. That's going to be the most important thing you can do. I'm a full believer that it's better to have a Galactic Legend with all 6 Zetas than trying to mix and match the faction. I just think the 120 for the GLs is going to be the most important thing. As particularly with a GL like Kylo, where you can really just use him as a solo, especially if you have all 6 of those Zetas. So yeah, get to 120 first. That's going to be, for Kylo, you got to do that. Then you want to equip the uniques for these characters in order. So first is General Hux's. This is because the big thing here, they gain First Order, right? The First Order, if the Allied leader's First Order, everybody gains advantage. And if all allies were First Order at the start of battle, enemies can't gain bonus turn meter while Hux has advantage. This is going to stop your off-meta teams. This is going to make it much harder for CLS to counter Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. Going to make it's almost impossible for Imperial Troopers to counter him. Jedi Knight Revan has a much tougher time, so not being able to run that turn meter train against Kylo, that's why this Zeta is going to be that important to you progressing. It is. I'm sorry. It's one of the most important Zetas. It's probably the most important First Order Zeta outside of Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. The next one here is Emperor's Legacy on Sith Trooper. Whenever another First Order ally is defeated, or Sith, the cooldown of Vengeant Blast is reset. Sith Trooper gains advantage, takes a bonus turn. This is so good. This is what... so you kill a First Order ally, he takes a bonus turn, he gains advantage, takes a bonus turn, and is going to blast everybody, which means that Supreme Leader Kylo Ren then gains ultimate charge. So really, really solid ability here. If you don't target Larry, right, as Arnold calls him, if you don't target this guy down, he will murder your team. Then the Kylo Ren Unmasked unique. Even though Supreme Leader Kylo Ren will end up giving this character taunt, in my mind, it's the one he's going to always counterattack, which again provides extra ultimate charge. But 2, for the times that you may not run this character with Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, you want him taunting at the start of battle. That pre-taunt is so important. So yes, get this Zeta. His leadership Zeta, while good, you're almost never going to use it once you get Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, so I would put that on the back burner for a very long time. I would not get this leadership Zeta until you are much further along in the game, simply because there's going to be more important ones to cover. So those are the first 3 Zetas I would get. Unique, 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 in that order. Then you've got these other Zetas for the First Order, right? You got 2 Omicrons you could equip and 4 other Zetas. It really depends on your needs and wants of your account. My personal opinion is that I think if you're in the early stages of the game, the OG Kylo Zeta will allow you to solo a lot of lower level teams, so that could be really, really good value for you. I think if you're in that sort of mid-game range, the First Order TIE Pilot or Captain Phasma Omicron, depending if you like GAC or Territory Wars more, can be really solid options for you. The First Order TIE Pilot Omicron in 3v3 with Hux and Sith Trooper is it's a deadly combination. It's fantastic, it's deadly. I highly recommend that one. The First Order Stormtrooper Zeta, in my opinion, is one that I would say is, if you're like in the end game, you're probably going to want that Zeta, right? You're probably going to end up wanting this Zeta if you're at the end game, because on the off chance that you do use him with like Supreme Leader Kylo Ren and he calls him to assist, it's a deadly combination, right? So it really depends on your needs and wants here for these guys. I could make an argument for any of the order. Really, I think First Order TIE Pilot, Zeta, and Omicron together. Same thing with Captain Phasma. Like, don't just equip the Zeta and not the Omicron. You got to do it all at once or nothing for them. So that's the First Order. Now we're going to move to Rey. Again, 121st. Get Rey all of her Zetas. Just get all the Zetas for the GL. Especially because a lot of players who are purchasing this, you may be in the earlier stages of the game. You want all the Zetas on the Galactic Legend. You want that Galactic Legend to be as ridiculously overpowered as possible comparative to your opponent. So get the 121st. It's going to be key. Now, if you have Ben, like a lot of us. Now, I've had Ben at 7 stars with his Zetas for forever. Now, I need to equip his Omicrons, but that's a different topic for a different video. If you have him, make sure you're going to be putting Zetas on him first. Before, people are going to not like that I say that, but trust me, Rey and Ben is the best combination in this game. It's one of the best 1-2 punches in the game. 1000% believe that. It's on, Jedi Master Kenobi and Commander Tano, Lord Vader Maul, Rey Ben. I would say Rey Ben is with their Omicrons in GAC, they are ridiculous. Obviously, I think outside of GAC, there's a little bit of value. There's some good value that gets lost, but still a very, very solid duo. So if you have him, I would 1000% get Ben first. Get the Zetas on him. Get I'd say at least 2 Omicrons, but again, another topic for another video. So that's the first thing. Then I would get Unique 2 on Jedi Training Rey, this Insight. At the end of her turn, if Rey already had critical damage up, she gains offense up until she is damaged at the start of each encounter. Rey gains Foresight until she evades. When Rey evades, she recovers 5% health and protection. The reason you want this is if you guys have seen when you're doing the Starkiller versus Rey battle, and Jedi Training Rey keeps dodging and she keeps healing up. This is why, right? This unique ability. You want to be able, that recovery for when she evades is so important to her kit. It's what makes her such a difficult counter if you don't have your Starkiller Omicron out. So yes, Jedi Training Rey Unique 2 is the first thing I would equip. Right, that's the first one. After Ben. Then I would get the uniques for Holdo, Resistance Hero Finn, and Resistance Hero Poe in order. That's because your starting Rey lineup most likely will be Rey, Jedi Training Rey, Holdo, Resistance Hero Finn, Resistance Hero Poe. That's kind of the most popular starting lineup for this character. So those are the unique Zetas I would equip in that order. Now, we got to throw a wrench in here, right? If you somehow have Zori, then I would go with Finn lead. Then you get Zoris. You could think about BB-8, right? Get BB-8 Zetas. Get Jedi Training Rey's other Zeta. I'd kind of leave her leadership off. And even like the Rose Tico Zeta, you could throw that on there. The big thing you're going to want to keep in mind here is that, like, a lot of players are saying, well, Phil, what else could I run with Rey if I don't have, like if I want to use the Resistance heroes with Zori, who do you put with Rey? Well, I'm going to show 2 characters. So I have one right here because I want to make a point before I add the second one. If you have Commander Tano and you don't have Kenobi, right? If you have Commander Tano, you use her with Padme. Rey plus Commander Tano is a much better combination than Padme Cat. And it's controversial until you remember what her unique ability does. She has 50% offense and critical damage. If another light side unaligned Force user, that's what Rey is, right? Or, these things, right, is present. She also has 50% health and 50% defense and shares all of these bonuses with her light side allies. So now you've given Rey 50% offense, critical damage, health, and defense, which is just bonkers. That's what Rey wants. She wants health. She wants offense. That's bonkers, right? That's how good this unique is. So a lot of players, if you have Commander Tano, I would 1,000, and you don't have Kenobi, 1,000% just stick her with Rey for the time being, and you will be amazed at the holds you can get. Now, the other character, depending on what you've been farming recently, that you can use with Rey, is R2-D2. For the exact same reason with Commander Tano. R2 has his number crunch. He gains 10% for each droid, 10% for Galactic Republic, 10% for Rebels, and 10% for each, potency for Resistance. And then he's going to share those stats. So the one downside here is that if you are using R2 with the, Resistance faction, you're not really helping Rey with that potency per se. But just think for a second, if you have Commander Tano and you have R2-D2, these bonuses can just, pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers, right? Yeah, it's going to be absolutely, this is a great combination to run with Rey, boosting her health, protection, offense, all that stuff. This is the, Zeta order that you would go in my opinion. Now, if you have Commander Tano and you've got R2-D2, their Zetas could bump up a little bit depending on what you want to make of your Resistance faction. So those are the Zeta orders. Now, we're going to break into what I think the impact of these packs will be for the long term. So, to understand these packs a little bit better, because people are like, oh my gosh, this is insane, like, why do they do this with Jedi Master Kenobi? Let's slow down for a second there, and let's talk about something. So first, let's go to Supreme Leader Kylo Ren Journey Guide. When you look at the First Order characters, I'm going to go through something that I don't know if everybody recognizes this. But 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Those 5 right here. Phasma, Stormtrooper, Officer, Pilot, and the first Pilot, and OG Kylo have been in the game since basically launch. They've been around for a long time. So they're giving you these characters at Relic 5, but they're giving you characters who've been around for so long in their eyes that they just aren't holding their value anymore. These packs are designed to help you catch up to things that have been in the game for so long that they want you to focus on the newer things. So they're giving you those characters. Even Kylo Ren Unmasked, Executioner, and Special Forces have been in the game for forever as well. They've been around since The Last Jedi was released. With the newest First Order characters being Hux and Sith Trooper, who were released after The Rise of Skywalker. So it's been years and years and years that all of these characters have been in game. Not just like the entire faction has been in this game for years and years and years. So I think they're just trying to, they recognize that the revenue isn't really flowing in for this faction anymore because they're just so outdated. So they're trying to bring it to light a little bit. That's exactly what these packs are doing. So then let's go to Rey real quick. So Rey again, if we go to the Resistance, Finn, Poe, Stick Rey, Pilot, and Resistance Trooper. All of these characters right here, these 5, have been in the game since launch, right? They've been around since launch. Like, I remember getting Resistance Trooper as a, bonus when I first downloaded this game in November of, 2015. R2-D2 was one of the initial, R2-D2 and Rey were both very early on legendary characters in Galaxy of Heroes. Same with BB-8, they've been around for a long time. Then you got characters like the Vet Smugglers. We got them after, I believe, I'm trying to think if they came in around the same time that Jedi Training Rey did, since they were requirements for her. I remember, but they've been in for a long time. Then you got Rose, Holdo, and I'm trying to think. I think those two came in after, obviously, the Last Jedi, with Finn and Poe both being released after The Rise of Skywalker around that same time as Hux and Sith Trooper. With the most recent Resistance character being Zori, who, guess what, she's not in those packs. So these characters have all been in the game for a very long time. The ones that they're giving away have been here for a long time. They're trying to capitalize on these farms. What the purpose of these packs is they want to give you these characters because they want you to catch up. They want you to have these characters so you're not worried about farming them, so you can go on to farm things like Jabba and Leia and Kenobi and Lord Vader, the things that they want you to spend money on, because they're so much more expensive than those two characters, and I think that they recognize that. So don't think this game is going anywhere. But now to the part, I know I've kind of been dodging this, but what do you do now with your farming? I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, Rey and Kylo have been in the game for about 3.5 years. And Sith Eternal and Jedi Master Luke were the next characters that were released after Rey and Kylo. And they were, I don't know, 6 to 8 months later. So just think in 6 to 8 months, if packs like for Sith Eternal and Jedi Master Luke, like these ones came out, what would you do? And that's where I think now you want to be farming your Jabbas, your Kenobis, Lord Vaders, your Leias, which kind of leads you into Jedi Master Luke. But I would, by all means, do not go and farm. Like if you're in the middle of your Sith Eternal farm, hey, you know, it is what it is. I'd probably finish it off. But I would not be starting Sith Eternal for a very long time unless he's the only galactic legend you need. Because if packs like this get released for him, why would you not just take advantage of them in the future? They said that these could happen in the future, so maybe you wait and see how things are panning out. But I think the future of farming in Galaxy of Heroes is try and get the newest stuff. You're not necessarily chasing like the meta or meta, however you guys like me saying it, but you're going to try and farm the stuff that's going to give you the best rate on your return, like Jabba, even if it takes you longer, knowing that maybe packs like this become more frequent. Because they also released one for Starkiller. Right? They released a Starkiller pack. So what's to say in a few, maybe another year or so, what if they do that with, Inquisitors, right? Or that they release a Thrawn pack with all Relic Phoenix. Like, what would you do, right? So I think that these are all really great things, and I think it's a good sign that they're trying to give players that option. I understand it's for money, but comparative to the other packs in the game, these things are a steal. But I think they're trying to get you to farming the newest things so you can participate in more of that content that they're trying to push out. This is not we're trying to cash out at the end of the game. Guys, they just released Leia, right? They just released Leia. They're releasing a new raid. We've had updates. We're getting new ships and things. This game is not going away anytime soon. I think they're just trying to give you an avenue to farm the newest things so you can participate and feel like you're enjoying this game rather than being years and years behind those of us at that tip of the spear. So that's the end of the video. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. Like, subscribe, comment. I love all you. May the force be with you, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.